Well, hey, it's Catherine. This was actually a project that I made on Facebook Live, and I wanted to just do a quick run through of it so you guys could see over here on YouTube. I am using our Mod Squared Stencil, and I'm just kind of going to use it as a stamp. So I'm putting on Party Dress, I'm using Tiki Torch and Bellini. I'm inking the stencil, and then you can see it left some ink on my mat. I could have taken a piece of cardstock and laid it on top, maybe added a little water and made another technique piece, but I was too quick with my paper towel and I just cleaned it up before I had that thought. So now I'm using that stencil as a stamp. I just laid it on top of my watercolor paper. I'm using my fingers to rub it around. Now this is a little messy. If you don't want to get so messy, you can lay a piece of copy paper over top or maybe rub it with a paper towel to move that color around and press it down into that watercolor paper. And as you saw when I removed it, it gives a really cool look. So another thing you can do, you can take those ink blending tools and you can blend color on top if you want. That's another level of technique there. Or you can just peel that stencil off and have that stencil image with a watercolor look to it right on your cardstock. It looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Now I want this to dry quickly so that I can get to my stamping. So I'm just going to take a heat tool and zap it real quick with my heat tool to get it all dry, and then I'll be able to move on to the next step. Ah, my inky fingers. I wear those with pride, you guys. Now I'm going to pull in my paper trimmer and I'm going to cut a little bit off the top and the bottom and the sides, and then I'll be able to add this to a layer and to my card base. I'm going to use the You Did It stamp set. I absolutely adore this one sentiment. Well, I adore all of them, but "You're done" just cracks me up. I think you can use it for so many fun occasions, like a friend that just had a baby because she's done with her pregnancy, or obviously someone who finished school or retired, or maybe is leaving one job and going to another. I think it's a funny way to say congratulations, and I think it's really fun with this particular background because it feels like graffiti to me. And going back to my layer, did you see how there's a big scallopy circle cut out of that black cardstock? That's a really great way to stretch your cardstock and not have a lot of waste. Just cut your die cuts and through the middle of the cardstock and use that as the layer. I am using my Misty. I'm using our Midnight ink, which stamps really nice and black, but I wanted to make sure that I got a good image, so since I only had one shot here on this technique piece, so I used the Misty so I could stamp a couple times just to make sure it's full stamped image, black, crisp, nice, and awesome. And then seriously, "You're done." That just makes me giggle. So I'm going to add just a little bit more to this card. Just a few stars from that You Did It stamp set are going to set this off and give it a little bit more interest. Now here's another one I did using our Mod Flowers Stencil. I inked it with Aquatini and Lime Rickey and did the exact same thing, sprayed it with water, stamped it down, and then just added my grading. Really easy and a super fun look. And now here is another one. I did a watercolor background on there with the Mod, and then I took the Mod Flowers Stencil, laid it on top, did embossing paste over the top, and some white embossing powder, and then I heated it. Now when I heated it, it embossed the embossing powder, and it also heated up that embossing paste, which made it poof up a little bit, so it gives some added texture and dimension to the card. So probably just adding a die cut word, maybe a few flowers, will finish this card off for you. If you have any ideas on how I should finish this card off and maybe color suggestions, leave them below in the comments. I would love to hear, and I can go ahead and add that back and share that with you. So thanks for being here, you guys. I hope you have an awesome day. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon.